Here we are at Mustang Ranch. We're doing a welding demonstration video of a number of the different kinds of welds that we have done on this Mustang. We've got all of our tools set up here. We've got a welder. We've got a floor support here, which is a representation of an actual part that would have gone into his car. This is going to represent the floor. I've got a drill, brand new, never been used drill bits, a belt sander, and a disc sander, a disc grinder. It's taken about 15 minutes or so to get everything set up just to start the demonstration. I've got my personal protective gear to protect me from welding. I've got safety glasses. I've got welding sleeves to protect my skin, as well as coveralls to protect my clothes, as well as ear plugs to protect my ears from the noise of grinding, as well as to protect nothing going in my ears. So I'm going to start out by demonstrating drilling and doing plug welds, as well as a couple of lap welds, and the procedure to make this happen. So to start, I hook up my disc grinder, and we've got our welding surface here. Weld does not, if you're going to weld, it will not weld to a painted surface. So you have to clean off your material in order to even start welding. So I have to clean it on my piece that needs to be welded on, as well as my piece that I will be welding to. So I will start first by clearing the paint off of this edge. And again, this is going to represent the car. And I want to point out here, if you come in close here and look, we have to clean up the metal more so like this, as if you transition down this way, you can see less and less material taken off. And so if you get down to here, there's not any material removed. A weld will stick to this well without any improper welding defects. In this area, you may have some defects of your weld. Your weld will not come out as clean as it could if it's not all the way cleared off like this. And again, down here where there's no, excuse me, there's still some material on here. The weld will not stick to this material here. So again, your whole metal has to be cleaned up anywhere you're going to be welding to a very clean state like this. And I'm grabbing a 5/16 drill bit. That's the standard size of a typical spot weld on a car. So I'm going to replicate what that would be with a plug weld. So I'm going to brace my part. Normally I do this on a workbench. In this instance, it's not as critical. I'll start it on the floor first. Okay. And so standard parts, when they're welded together, you would have multiple spot welds or plug welds about 1 inch to 1.5 inches apart. So the next one, again, and you also want to have it centered . Okay, so essentially I would do this entire piece, I would drill holes all the way down here. And so I would end up having about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or so more. So that's just the one side. So this side would have about 12. This side is obviously about the same size, so I'd have 12 more. So now I'm going to demonstrate a couple of different welding techniques. So hang on a sec, gotta run and grab some pliers. These are called vice grips. We use these. Again, it takes some time you have to take and go and fit and adjust where the part goes. As you can see, I'm having to do it on this piece. Okay, so this would be set up now for the plug weld. So I'm going to demonstrate the plug weld. I've got my welder here. I turn my gas on. I've got to hook up my ground connection. And again, for a ground connection, it has to be on bare metal. Turn my welder on. This is a protective welding helmet.
Did you flip the switch in the back?
Okay. So I've got a practice piece of metal before I start on the actual piece that I'm going to, because again, when I do my actual piece, I want to make sure my welder's set up correctly. Appears to be. So again, I just did a spot there to make sure my welder was hot enough and was going to work good. So then I come and I do my plug welds here. So when you're doing a plug weld, you start in the center and you work your way around, and then it fills in the hole as it welds this piece to this piece as if it was a spot weld. there's one. And there's two. So this is the demonstration of a plug weld. After we've done multiple plug welds around the car, oftentimes there's a lot of spaces where there's an additional piece that is going to be going on top of it. And so if you had a piece that was going on top of it, in order to have it fit nice and close, you would have to grind that weld down. So I've got two different types of grinders that we can get into different spaces, and I'm going to show you the difference after grinding this particular piece down. So again, we want to make it look smooth. And we use this one because there's certain spots where this tool does not fit in. The idea being that you're grinding the weld down so that you can put your next piece over top of it without obstruction. Okay? So those are plug welds. So the next demonstration I'm going to do is lap welds, or just straight line welds. They're about 1 inch long, and we did those kind of welds in multiple spots around the vehicle as well. And then we did this. So, essentially we stitch different pieces together in fashion like that. Okay? And again, there's a variety of these that also needed to be ground down, similar to these. There's some spaces where they are not. But this is a demonstration of a plug weld and a lap weld or stitch weld. And again, as we would go do that, we would do, again, I said there would be probably about 12 welds in this space all the way down this side. And again, you'd have this side, and if this part was going into the car, you'd have some here, as well as here, and back down along here, and this edge there. Okay? So, that concludes the demonstration of grinding, drilling holes, plug welding, lap and stitch welding, as well as the cleanup and prep of that particular piece. Thank you.